Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Amazing. I have 4 concurrent viewers. That's amazing. Would you look at that? 6 watching. Can you guys hear me okay? Comment in the actual comment thing. I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Because sometimes, you know, it doesn't work. Just wait a minute. It's amazing. Wow. All right. That actually sounds kind of good. So while we're waiting for this to get populated a little bit, you know, just an average Friday, working my butt off here at my house. Lots of cool stuff behind me, as you can tell. And I wanted to just take time to, as editor-in-chief, start talking directly to readers and just opening up kind of some ideas and some thoughts and things that are going on behind the scenes, and get an opportunity for you to ask questions about maybe stories that we've written about, stories that we haven't written about, anything like that, or just things about going on in the season that you're like, oh, I wonder if this is going on, or I wonder if anyone's looking into this. I can kind of answer some of those questions, and then the opportunity for you to get you know, some feedback, or for me to get some feedback, and you to get answers to some questions. So I'm going to center these things around different topics of conversation, some things I'm seeing that are out there, and then we're going to open up to questions and anything you guys have. We're going to chat about it. So anyways, for all like 10 million of you guys that are on here right now, I'm just going to dive in here to kind of talk about something that has been on my mind a little bit recently. And one of those things is just negativity. And negativity being that I'm seeing just so much negativity and so many negative comments on a lot of the posts that we're putting up, and it's not directed towards us, it's not necessarily directed towards how we wrote or the style or whatever it is, but really directed towards athletes, in particular professional athletes or games athletes or those that are at that caliber. And so what struck me today was you know, a post that we put up about Annie Thorisdottir and Sarah Signoff doing head-to-head 20.3 first attempt at that this morning, afternoon in Iceland, this morning Pacific time in California. And my sister called me, and she called me up. She's like, hey Justin, it's like, are all CrossFitters just this mean? And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, well, I mean, I'm reading this post and everyone's just so negative about these girls. They're kicking butt, they're doing good reps, or working really hard and stuff. I don't understand why everybody's just kind of so negative about these people. I mean, these comments are ridiculous. And I was like, well, I'm not really sure. Like, I hadn't even looked at it yet. And I went back and I did look, and I was like, man, this is really, really negative. And I think that we've gotten into this point in the sport where there's so much visibility to what athletes are doing, and there's so much, so many ways which you can, you know, voice your opinion, share your opinion, and take a look at, you know, what an athlete's performance looks like, and make a judgment call on it. And look, I think that athletes should be able to stand behind their videos and should be able to stand behind the reps that they're doing, and make sure that that is, you know, holding to the standard. But I also think that we as spectators often judge athletes harsher than perhaps we would even judge ourselves, and look at them as saying, oh, you know, that's not a good rep, even though we're not necessarily in line to actually see if their shoulders pass over their hips or if they're properly stacked. you know. And so I think that what I'm trying to get at here is that instead of being somebody who wants to just tear down the performance of another athlete, that we should support that and applaud that, and then also hold them to a standard in an appropriate way. And I think one of those ways that's very much appropriate is that the go in and join to be a reviewer of videos. If you really feel that you have a knack for determining what is and what is not a good rep, and what is and what is not a valid score, I think there's a perfectly appropriate place to do that. I'm not saying never post comments that are negative or never point something out. But what I am saying and what I am seeing is just this grandiose level of negativity about this. I mean, some of the comments that we saw were just downright mean. And, this is hard to judge from a YouTube video, and you're not necessarily in that position. So that's all I'm saying. And I want to talk about negativity a little bit because it's become very pervasive. And it's not just on posts like this about what games athletes are doing in their open videos, but it is also about other things. And so this has, generally speaking, been a community where we are really kind, really supportive. And I want to encourage that to continue to happen, because we do exist to point out maybe sometimes the obvious or sometimes not the obvious, but we also exist to build up the community. We are here for that, and that is the purpose, and that is why we exist, is to be supportive of the community itself. So it's just a little bit about taking that and thinking about it a little bit. And look, at the end of the day, I'm proud of these two ladies for putting their videos out there for the world, knowing how harsh the critics are, who are also not in a position to actually do a good job judging. Not every camera angle is conducive to doing that, and this is not necessarily a video submission for review. It's just them taking their first pass at it, and I think we should applaud what they're doing, and I think that they're doing a great job. So with that being said, that's the only thing I really want to talk about today, because it struck me as just being, I was like, guys, seeing a lot of this. Maybe we can change the tone a little bit. Just a thought. But if you have any questions about what's going on in the season, what's going on with content, what's going on with anything, put it in the comments. I'm here for the next couple minutes, and then I'm going to go do 20.3. Not as good as they did. And, give it my best. Down 0-2 against Tommy Marquez. Big Tommy the Taco. He's a tough guy to beat. But we'll see what we got for this one. I like handstand push-ups, and I like handstand walking. So if you guys have any questions or any comments or something like that you guys want to bring up, I'm here for that. I'd like to give you guys as much information as possible. As possible. And really, this was just the first in an effort to just kind of open things up. Just have an open forum and an open dialogue. So I'll be here for a little bit. And other than that, thanks for being here. Thanks for just being a part of the community and stuff, and continuing to do what you guys do, and supporting us and reading the stories and stuff like that. One thing that's kind of just struck me is that we are only 3/5 of the way down from the Open, which is more than halfway technically, but honestly, it's still so much to go. Even when we look at the numbers on the leaderboard, there's so much shifting that's going to happen, so many changes that are literally about to take place every single week, and we're seeing the numbers kind of go up and going down. One thing that's kind of, I don't want to say new, but like new news-wise, is the fact that these harsher penalties are really shaking up the leaderboard. And we saw that last season, where they were handing out bigger penalties for, like, I think it was a 3 or 5 second penalty for missed double unders, which clearly doesn't take 3 seconds to do a double under. But there was kind of a warning sign saying, look, if you aren't 100% confident in your score, if you're not 100% confident in the reps that you're putting out there, it could really come back to hurt you. And we're really seeing that here. Now, I know there's been a lot of controversy around some specific videos, but one key takeaway from this whole thing from week one's scoring adjustments is, if your video is not good and if your reps are not good, it's probably not going to work out in your favor. And riding that line between what is considered a rep and a no rep might not be worth it in the end. But that's for the elite athletes to decide. The other kind of thing that I found interesting so far in the Open is the programming switch a little bit from bringing thrusters out of the 5th week into the 2nd week, and then also programming a 4th week workout, which is 18.4 in the 3rd week, and kind of breaking from tradition a little bit. Seems like Dave is mixing things up a little bit in this new year, new season, new time of the year when we're doing this. I wouldn't expect to see thrusters again in week 5, but it's certainly going to be kind of sad not having it. It's going to throw a lot of, I think, guessing into it, a little bit more uncertainty as to what we're going to see for that final workout. I think us as athletes who have done a lot of Opens have kind of gotten used to the Fran style workout, or at the very least thrusters at the end of the Open, and we kind of look forward to it in the sense that we're not looking forward to it, but it's coming, we know it's coming, and then week 5 goes and it comes, and then we say, well, we're probably not going to do it this year, this might be the year Dave doesn't do it, and then boom, he does. But that's going to be different this year, and we're now going to have an opportunity to do something completely different. We haven't had chest to bar pull-ups yet. That's the one movement that has been programmed in every single CrossFit Open that has not shown up yet this year. So if you're looking at 20.5 and going, I wonder what's going to show up, maybe it's chest to bars, maybe that's the constant that we're going to see showing up in that 5th week, but who knows. So anyways, no questions. So look, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm going to keep doing this, kind of maybe do a little bit more of a formal process next time, but this was just an experiment. I had a little bit extra time today, figured why not come right to you guys, talk for a couple minutes, drop some knowledge, and then now it's time to go do the workout. So anyways, thanks for coming and joining, and if you got any feedback, things you guys want to talk about, things you want to hear discussed, leave it in the comments, send us a message. You can always reach out to us on email or through Instagram or Facebook or on YouTube, and we're here for you. So till then, see ya.